again. What you have just come to tell us here, that you are doing a project,
Rufai.
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. What you have just come to tell us here is that you are doing a project worth trillions without transparency and an open bidding process that gives everybody the chance.
So guys, Rufai was spotted in a video, throwing hard questions at former governor of Ebonyi State, Governor Omai, who is the Minister for Works. Rufai boldly asked him questions that he wouldn't want to answer on camera. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video to see the fearlessness of Rufai and how he is like the voice of Nigerians who try to dare these politicians to make them know that they are accountable. They are supposed to be held accountable. They shouldn't just be doing things and feel nobody should question them. You can imagine Rufai is questioning the transparency in the Calabar-Lagos Coastal Highway road that is being constructed under the Tinubu's government, and we know that that contract was awarded to High-Tech, a company that is said to be owned directly or indirectly by Tinubu himself. So I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this conversation. Honestly, many people have applauded Rufai for his boldness, although some
You told us that change is gradual. You mean after 10 years of APC governance, we are not supposed to see their change, Abi? After 10 years. But when they were not fit, they told Nigeria that the fuel subsidy was a scam. They removed it. Nigeria went 50 years backwards. No, tell me, what have they brought on the table? They're supposed to at least, if they don't know what to do, they leave us where they met us. Nigeria had an economy before APC came into office. What was the exchange rate? How much were we buying fuel?
What you have just come to tell us here, that you are doing a project
Rufai.
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. What you have just come to tell us here is that you are doing a project worth trillions without transparency and an open bidding process that gives everybody the chance. Can you show me if there was
somebody tell
hang on a minute, let me finish now. Let me finish. I gave you the chance.
Rufai, hold on.
Can you show me?
You don't darken counsel without knowledge.
No, wait a minute.
I'm putting you right so that you can ask.
Let me finish.
No, get information right.
You won't allow me finish. Let me land at least
you
and
are
you
finishing
respond.
on wrong.
Waiting now, Minister. You want to take this interview from me? Let me ask the question and you correct it.
Rufai, you are dark.
Let me ask the question and you correct it. Please, let me speak, Minister. We are very good friends. So, you gave me honorable mention at the Millennium Bridge. You are my man. Bless you. So, what you are saying is that no independent free bidding process for everybody. You just went along with High-Tech because they did some work in Lagos before. And the argument you are making, with due respect, Minister, that they brought equipment to help in the independent bridge scenario and all of that. That's no big deal. They are benefiting from the government in other ways through the coastal road. So it's not an argument. So you are saying that there was no open tender. At least give others a chance to bid. Secondly, Minister, I want to bring forward the case of Winsome. You will react, Minister. You will react. Let me have my time. You will react to it.
Rufai, hold on.
Minister, I'm not finished asking my question now. You have not finished now. You will react to
one. Let me correct this one.
You will react to it. Give me the chance. You see, we are wasting time. Winsome Homes, she said she got some money from the diaspora. And there's been a back and forth I've been seeing in the news. I don't know what your take is on that Winsome Home project, the real estate developer. Thirdly, Minister, give me empirical facts of how much you have spent for this first 30 kilometers that is about to be commissioned. How much you have spent in also the street light deployment and other things that you've deployed in these first 30 kilometers. So let us know a price range variation. If you can also give me kilometer by kilometer spending and some other empirical breakdown so we can see it. If you can't finish it here, you can send the documents to us so that we can just also assess the spending. Thank you, Minister.
Rufai, first and foremost is that you have to recall that you carried your calculator and I was in the studio and I was giving you the figures. I didn't carry calculator like you, and your calculator could not properly calculate what I was saying. It was, Dr. Abati that came between us. He said, okay, leave the calculation. So I ran the figures. Rufai, the first 47 by 47 kilometer of the Section 1 Coastal Highway was awarded at 1.06 1.8 trillion. And we have 30% component of the federal government counterpart funding and 70% loan component. As of today, we have not secured 1 kobo loan on the project. But High Tech had invested their money, and that job is about 80% done. The solar light is not an isolated contract. It's part of the project, the road architecture. You have the cable ducting, you have the drainage, you have the tree planting, and of course you have the train track, which we have made provision, for future train construction. It's not part of my mandate, but we have to make that provision, for future. And then when you said we didn't give others the opportunity, and that's what I'm trying to correct you, that we have 3 kinds of procurement process. The first one is, restrictive for specialized jobs. And when we use, that specialized procurement process for sections 1 and 2, for section 3A and 3B, Sokoto Badagry, the Trans-Sahara route, it became selective tendering. Other contractors were invited in each of the other processes, and of course they bid it. And High Tech won because of their technical competence, the equipment they parade, the number of expertise they have, and the local content components of the engagement, because they have a lot of engineers engaged, they have a lot of engineers being trained, they have a lot of services being given, and even small contracts are being given to our engineers so that they can also learn and benefit from that. And so when you talk about how much have we spent on Section 1, we've paid 30% of the cost I told you. And when you come to Section 2, it's 1.33 trillion. And we have only committed 30% of the cost of that project. And the 70% is the loan component. And that loan component has not come. And that's why the development partners came, the Dutch Bank and the Development Bank of Southern Africa. They came and they were very much interested. Today, a lot of other African Development Bank, Islamic Bank, they are coming knocking for us to interact with them. They are interested, seeing what we have done. And by December, I believe strongly that we would have completed Section 1. Section 1 is supposed to be for 36 months. But this 30 kilometer we've completed is being done within 1 year, 12 months. And I'm very, very, very happy with what High Tech is doing. High Tech is not just, a contracting firm. They are development partners of this country. And you see, people always look at one side of an issue. You are not looking at competence. You are not looking at ability to deliver the work. You are not looking at the equipment, availability of equipment. You are not looking at the risk being taken, by contractors doing this job. I know of other contractors in this country, not all of them, but many of them, when we award job to them, they will never put a shovel on ground until they are paid mobilization. And that's why I changed the narrative, and in the contract I say, listen, if we give you a job, because at the bidding process, you will tell us about your financial capacity. If we give you a job and then within 30 days you have not started permanent work, you now deem that contract is terminated. And we give you mobilization, we are not giving you another money until you exhaust that mobilization and end a milestone, over and above the mobilization.
Minister,
and this is what we are doing to checkmate people that are portfolio contractors. And that is working. And that is what the president directed we should do. And that is what we are doing.
Cost per kilometer. Just give me the number. Cost per kilometer in these first 30 kilometers. Quickly, Minister. Cost per kilometer.
Well, Senator Omai, I will go ahead with my question. Cost per kilometer, that can be communicated elsewhere, outside morning show. Let's focus on the issues. I ask you, during the May 21 APC National Summit,
it's like I lost
at the Villa.
I lost the studio.
Can you hear me,
yes,
sir?
I was asking for the cost per kilometer, which is a very important question, Senator. Very important question. Cost per kilometer. That's accountability of the people. If you can give us the cost per kilometer
we'll
question.
Take a short break. If Senator Engineer Dave Umahi is not...
So can we dwell on President Bola Tinubu's administration, not the entire 8 years of APC. I want us to dwell on President Bola Tinubu's administration and achievements currently. He's the current president.
His own administration is worse. The fuel subsidy he removed has plunged Nigeria into darkness 50 years behind.
Was he the one that removed fuel subsidy?
He was the one. After all, Buhari did not put a gun on the head. Tell you more. All the other things that Buhari did, why have you not improved on them?
So, Barrister Darlington, talking about Buhari, Oshomole made a statement, former State governor and senator. He said that the current president, Tinubu's administration, inherited badly mismanaged Nigeria from Buhari.
These people are always very clever.
That they inherited an economy that was in shambles. But now that you're saying you're making it look like it's same APC administration. Are we going to judge it based on same party system, or we're going to judge it on individual?
Hold on. Tinubu told us that when he comes, he will continue where Buhari stopped. On what basis now will you now exonerate Tinubu from Buhari's government? He said it himself. So what is the excuse now? And he has continued according to his word.
But Barry said they inherited a very badly managed economy.
I don't know.
It will take time for things to start yielding fruit.
He has not told us.
Oshomole is saying it now. I'm telling you, Barry.
Let Tinubu come out. Hold on. Let Tinubu come out and probe the person that destroyed the economy. Then I will take him serious. Yes. Let him call him out. After all, after your service now, you are no longer above the law. You are finished serving. So come and answer for what you did in office. If Tinubu is serious, if you want me to believe him, let him come and probe the man that destroyed the economy. Since somebody is there in Abuja defending him. I wanted him to tell me what single thing they have done that impacted in the life of Nigerians. One single thing. I mean, look at it. With all the money they have made, they promise. Look at where the electricity is. With all the money they have made, the money they are sucking from us, we are still struggling with 5,000 megawatts. Struggling. No improvement after 10 years. So what are you not telling me?
Barrister, the State House is diverting to solar panel. That's all Nigerians,
that is an
need to divert to solar panel. But the question is, how many Nigerians will be able to afford
so
panels?
This question should go to the man in Abuja. That if Asoro cannot pay electricity bill, is it the other Nigerian that will pay? The man that is defending them in Abuja, I wish he's in this studio now, so that we now drag this thing out properly. No, you should ask Tinubu. So if you cannot pay electricity bill, how do you expect Nigerians to pay? A very big indictment on his own. And you are telling me gradual what? If you are preparing to run mad for 25 years, when exactly are you going to run mad? Every year, I'll go mad though. Go mad. 25 years, you are still trying to go mad.
Now, let me start from what the government should have been done upon the removal of fuel subsidy. If you recall, the much maligned Gogol General Abacha, when he removed a few cobbles from fuel subsidy, he set up the PTDF that was led by former President Muhammadu Buhari. When also Jonathan removed a few nairas from the fuel subsidy, he set up Shopee. So there were concrete things that we are seeing where those monies were targeted, at least some part of the money. Now, Tinubu removed fuel subsidy hook, line, and sinker. Not a single kobo was left on the subsidy. What is the name of the intervention where the money is going? Nobody knows. I mean, the CNG initiative is all a mantra. One had expected that at least the kits and the conversion could have been subsidized by government to enable Nigerians who are so poor to move over, okay, and then reduce the cost of transportation. One would have expected targeted investments in health. For instance, covering the health insurance of the poorest of the poor under the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. More of those resources could have been targeted. One could have also expected more improvements in the level of education infrastructure and teaching, okay? Not just the education loan stuff. Because the education loan program is even a bill that was started during the Buhari days. It's not a Tinubu administration bill, although he was the one who signed it into law. And you can even see that it's not a sustainable idea, because at the end of the day, you have to get work, get employed, earn an income before you can pay back, unless the government is ready to continue putting it money without the sustainability idea. So in essence, government was supposed to plow back a good portion of that money that was saved from fuel subsidy in places that Nigerians can begin to see and feel the impact. But that has not been done. Now, getting back, okay, to the borrowing idea and what they are telling us from the Minister of Finance, I think this is, with utmost respect to those who crafted that statement, they believe Nigerians are little kids that don't understand. Because even the idea of borrowing started at the medium-term expenditure framework. And now the letter they have sent to the National Assembly contains specific projects. I'm insisting, it contains specific projects. I sent a staff of mine yesterday to the National Assembly to get a copy of those specific projects. But the person that we met, the room that they met, said they have instructions not to release it to Nigerians. So it is not true that they are not going to start borrowing. When you bring a letter and accompany it with specific projects, what else are you doing? Once you are giving that approval, you can do it anytime. You can do it tomorrow. You can wait until 2006, 2026. So that's not true. So what we are saying in essence is that from previous experience, most of the money we have been borrowing, we are not necessary. And some that we are necessary, we are frittered away because they were not in the public domain. Nobody knew. For instance, look at the bulk of the money we took for SIFTAS, a particular World Bank program. It was supposed to be for reforms. What were we reforming? States have to draft audit laws. States have to make sure they implement their fiscal responsibility and public procurement law. Do you need a foreigner, the World Bank, America or Britain or France, to give you money to draft a law? Because at the end of the day, the law was even drafted by Nigerians, approved by Nigerians. Do you need anybody's money to implement a fiscal responsibility law at the state level, which you yourself has approved, your legislature approved, and your governor signed? Okay, let's go and face it. Let me give you a typical scenario. Government has borrowed so much money for girl child education in northern Nigeria. If you look at the figures, it could possibly be more than $5 billion. Now, have we moved an inch? Have the indicators improved? So we can't continue repeating the same mistakes, the same thing, and expecting different results. When you put this information about the specific projects in the public domain, we can begin to debate it. So what the statement from the Minister of Finance or wherever it came from stated is not true. They can borrow as soon as the approval is given. So particularly for the administration, we were expecting even at this midterm, because it's only 1 year they have left. 2027 will no longer be for governance, it will be for politicking and elections. There were basic things we were expecting. One, I talked about education, I talked about health. Can anybody say the access to power, electricity has improved? We were expecting investments, okay, in the grid, or reforms that will have made access to electricity much more affordable or more easier for Nigerians. Rather, we have increased costs, we have increased tariffs, but the power situation has not changed. We were expecting good roads and other infrastructure. Rather, we are not seeing that. The only thing we saw was just a highly political Lagos-Calabar coastal road. And the award of the contract did not follow due process. That was what the minister was on Arise the other day trying to explain, but his explanation was not sufficient. And out of 700 kilometers, you are just commissioning 30, and you are at midterm. So if you follow this trajectory, you may not do more than 60 or maximum 100. So who do you leave it for? So in essence, if you look at the resources available to the administration, both at the federal and state level, they cannot justify why they are moving at such a snail slow speed. There hasn't been commensurate investment in improvements in infrastructure or human resources following the bigger money available to them. But what I see is that they have increased the resources available in places where they can expend without public scrutiny. Service-wide votes. Go and look at it. So much money running into hundreds of billions and trillions have been left there. Maybe going to be managed between the Ministry of Finance and the presidency. And also, of course, the constituency monies available to legislators have increased. In fact, one legislator, somebody was writing the other day that none of them gets less than $1 billion in constituency votes. Where is the result of that investment? What are we seeing in the rural areas, in the constituencies where these legislators come from? So in essence, we haven't gotten a good deal. There's been no value for money. It is not about what they say, but what we, the Nigerians, feel on the ground. It is not about what Financial Times or an international agency writes. We did not elect you to report to Financial Times or the World Bank. We elected you to improve our living conditions. We elected you to give us access to water, give us electricity, give us good roads, improve our health, improve the education services. That has not happened. And in some instances, the indicators are going back. Okay, whether it is in the area of inflation, maybe anybody can say inflation has reduced because they changed the base year. They changed the methodology of calculating inflation. That's why it came down from around 33 to about 23 now. Okay, even in unemployment, they changed the methodology of calculating it that today nobody knows what the unemployment figures are. Okay, before we knew it was around 30-something%, and the unemployment has worsened. But if you look at their figures, they can tell you it's less than 5%. But everybody knows that cannot be true. So we are not thinking about figures being churned out, but we are talking about the practical reality for the majority of Nigerians.
This conversation about North and South is coming from the emptiness of our politics. The politicians have nothing to offer. If they have, let them put the ideas on the table. I'm going to go for a president wherever he comes from. Once he's a Nigerian, he has the ideas to fix this country. In this 21st century, we're still talking about North and South. In any case, we have tried Northern presidents, we have tried Southern presidents. What have they done? I've not seen anything. I mean, Buhari's regime was a disaster. So, and I have said so severally, many people have said so. So why should we be stuck about Akpabio? Akpabio, for goodness sake. What does he represent? Tell me, what ideas can you associate with Akpabio? What contribution has he made to the development of this country? Look at the padding in the budget. There are over 11,000, padded budget, about how many trillion? I mean, this bunch of thieves, for goodness sake, stop talking about them. Talk about ideas. How can we fix this country? Look at the population growing. Look at the lack of jobs. Look at the insecurity. Look at the inflation. Look at the bills that are mounting. How can we survive in the 21st century? We're in a competitive environment.
Okay, Dr. Bugadi.
Tell these politicians that talk about North and South, bring your ideas.
Dr. Bugadi.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Now, if you can remember vividly, this same Omai was asked question about something that has to do with this same construction. That was when they were still demolishing houses and all that. A reporter from Arise TV threw a question at Omai, and Omai said, I don't understand phonetics, and he was like, we are the government, we are the ones that decide. In short, his response went viral that time because Nigerians were like, what is this? I mean, what is this? So you can still see Omai still wearing that thick skin. They believe they are the government, they have the right to do anything they want to do. Nobody has the right to question them. But I tell you, these people forget that power belongs to the people, not them. After all, if elections were to be held properly in Nigeria, we know that Nigerians are the ones that elected them to handle the positions they are handling. Although elections in Nigeria is mago, so you can't say whosoever is holding any position today is actually the choice of the people. But that is why Nigerians want this electoral reform to happen, because we want to start holding these politicians accountable by recalling them. I mean, recalling them so that they will know that they didn't just go there on their own. The people voted for them. The people kept them there. And they should be held accountable when anything goes wrong. So, guys, I don't know what you make of all this happening. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. And drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, take a look.